You're
Hey
live.
guys, Lego Master Colt 53 here alongside Free Video 2000, and today we have an extremely special guest, Dave Fennoy, the voice of Pong Krell.
On Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Oh yeah.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing excellent. How are you doing today, Mr. Fennoy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me on. I'm glad I had some time to do this.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. It's an honor to talk to you.
It is. Thank you so much. So this is basically just going to be like the old-fashioned Q&A. So Caleb, your first question.
My first question for you, Dave, is one that I didn't ask at Star Wars or at Dragon Con because it's a little bit crowded there. I
There
did
were a
ask a few
zillion
questions.
people around.
Oh yeah.
So the question I have first is, did Dave Filoni pick you, select you, or did someone else?
Well, much as I would like for people to just go, let's get Dave Fennoy, like most voice actors or actors of any kind, I had to audition. I did audition for the part. I was very excited to get it because, not everybody even gets a chance to audition. And then I got the call, hey, we want you to play Pong Krell. It's going to have a nice character arc. And so I was very excited because, it is one of the classic cartoons. Or I should say was, because
Yeah.
it off the air.
I'm really sad about that, but hopefully the voice lives up to it.
Yeah, I hope it is.
I'm kind of sad about it too, but they also killed me off, so
Yeah.
what's up with that?
You could have always played another character maybe in the Clone Wars, like another one of the same species.
Well, or something else. If you look at me, I actually don't have four arms.
Fortunately.
Well, I don't know. That might be a good thing to have four arms.
I mean,
Yeah, it would be pretty cool, you know.
Talk about multitasking.
Oh yeah, especially around the house, doing
There you
laundry, then like feeding the dog, all sorts of stuff. Very
yeah.
useful.
Yeah.
And because your character had four arms, he was actually able to wield two double-bladed lightsabers, and we thought Maul was epic with one. I mean, seeing Pong Krell with two of them.
Yeah. I looked at that fight scene just the other day, and man, it's epic.
Oh yeah, it's
epic.
Like the most epic arc in the Clone Wars. I really enjoyed that scene where he was.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite.
I didn't realize I had moves like that.
I like the scene where he says it's treason then, and he pushes down on the clones, jumps to that window, and he's flying in the air and spinning.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
The animators did a hell of a job with that.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so my first question is, what is it like being a voice actor? Just yeah. What is it like being a voice actor?
Well, it's a wide open question. Well, I love it, so I think it's great. And when you're somebody that does what I do, it's a kind of job that moms and dads are always worried that you're going to try to do because there are no guarantees. If you become a lawyer, a doctor, a secretary, some of the other kinds of jobs, it's a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of a world, and that certainly is not the case as a voice actor. If nobody hires you that day, you don't make any money that day. So you really have to stay on your toes and hustle and work very, very hard to build up client relationships and get people to know who you are and audition a lot and keep your voice happening. But I love it. I love it when you're working, and fortunately I have been. Where's some wood? I need to knock on it. There we go. I can't imagine having any more fun doing anything else.
Very awesome. It's a great job that I'm sure me and Caleb would like to get one day.
I'd love to do that.
I am asked every day, so how did you get into voiceover? What do I need to do to get into voiceover? So.
Awesome. Caleb, your question?
Okay, my next question is, what inspired the voice of Krell?
Some kind of officious, I don't care about you, I have a job to do, and you are going to do it, and I am in charge. So and my voice is a little bit similar to that anyway. My voice is kind of deep, and I can take it even deeper. As a matter of fact, one of my first jobs was doing a knockoff of Darth Vader. They didn't want to pay James Earl Jones that kind of money, and I was willing to do it for a whole lot less. So it really was that same kind of character, a Darth Vader type thing.
Like a really strict, like deep voice for the character.
Really strict, deep voice. I am Pong Krell. You worthless clones.
So, what is your opinion on the clones? Like, do you think they're independent, or do you just think they're all about the same?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. This sounds like a cop-out answer, but I think it's a little bit of both. Much like human beings, we all have to eat, we all have to sleep, we all want love, we all need shelter. So someone could look at us as human beings and say we are all the same. And yet, each and every one of us is unique. So it's a bit of both.
I'm just going to keep hitting you with questions till Miles gets back. I have no clue.
Okay.
But like
He
with
probably went to the bathroom. Does he have a microphone on? We can hear him pee.
There you go. So also like with the clones, like I know your character Krell. He didn't really care about them too much.
No,
Not at all.
They were just tools for his plan. Sacrifice them. Who cares? They are nothing but clones. They will do what I order them to do.
Yeah, Krell didn't. He just called them by numbers rather. Like most of the Jedi generals, like I knew something was suspicious right then. Whenever he started calling them by their numbers rather than their like names.
Dig it.
Your species also appears in episode 2 as a character named Dexter Jetster. Did you think they could become Jedi when you first saw that character?
Well, you know what? I didn't think about it one way or the other, but having been a Star Wars fan for a lot of years, and you realize that any creature from any place that is a sentient being in this world can become a Jedi.
And this is a pretty funny question. I don't know how you're going to take it. Do you think Krell could fit in a Jedi starfighter? Because, you know, most
Wow. Well, you know what? I bet they might have to modify it a little bit, especially for the forearms. But yeah. You know, we could take it to Pimp My Jet Fighter and get that taken care of.
Yeah, I thought Krell, like he would be like an amazing pilot with all 4 arms. Like he could have 2 arms for running and 2 arms for flying. I mean, fully focused.
He'd be unstoppable.
And were you in the room with other voice actors like Dee Bradley Baker when you recorded, or were you alone?
Well, most of my scenes were with Dee Bradley Baker, who's a friend of mine, and who is one of the finest voice actors in the business, and a really nice guy. And I got to work with Dee, which was just a real joy.
And what's your favorite character you voiced?
Well, Krell is one of them. Lee Everett keeps popping up from the Walking Dead game because the game has been so popular. I got to really play a very three-dimensional, complicated character. A lot of times when you're doing games and cartoons, some of your characters are kind of two-dimensional. But the character of Lee Everett had real soul. There were things he was trying to hide, things he was afraid of, things he wanted to overcome in himself. He had his raison d'etre, his reason to be, was to take care of this little girl, and he had tough decisions to make, which actually I didn't have to make. The players did, but that has been one of my favorite. I'd have to say that's my favorite character so far.
Yeah, that game definitely provided a lot of those mixed choices throughout the game. I think that was its strong spot for sure, and the emotions that they gave the characters.
Yeah.
And would you work on Rebels or anything else Star Wars again?
I would be happy to work on anything Star Wars. They had hundreds and hundreds of voices that they used for the Old Republic, and I auditioned. I didn't get a part. I was very surprised. I thought, well, all these roles, I should get something, but just didn't happen.
So out of everything that's ever happened in Star Wars, what's your favorite part, like, out of Star Wars?
Oh, man. Well, I'm kind of old school with Star Wars, so probably Return of the Jedi.
Nice. I'm sure RF Biker Scout, he's one of my friends, he's a huge fan of Return of the Jedi. He definitely has the same opinion on you with that.
The first three, I don't know, for me, are still the best.
Same for me. I really think the first three are the classics. You can't beat them.
Yeah, I was really disappointed in Jar Jar Binks. But you know what? When you've got such an iconic property, you can't make it a hit every time. So, but the first three, man, I can still watch those and see something new and enjoy all the old stuff over and over and over again.
And here's a bit of a trivia question. Do you know Pong Krell's species?
Basilisk.
Oh wow, I had to look that one up. I actually didn't know myself. It was Basilisk. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. Basilisk.
Basilisk. One of those four-armed kind of weirdo creatures.
The first one we saw was a chef. I mean, I bet he makes one heck of a chef.
Chopping and forearms going crazy.
They should make like a bit on TV where he's just like chopping up. That'd be pretty funny.
Oh yes, Pong Krell.
He'd have like mini lightsabers that he used to chop up stuff.
Pong Krell, celebrity chef. I'm making clone stew. Won't you try some of my delicious clones?
The midichlorians will increase.
Yeah. What happened to your friend? Did Mom, call him out of the room and he has to go, clean his room or something?
You never know with Miles.
What's up with Miles?
He should be back here soon, hopefully.
Okay.
If not, we still got some questions I can ask. I'm just gonna keep hitting you. And when Miles gets back, I'll let him ask his.
Cool.
How often do you record?
I actually work every day. If you watch Hulu, you hear me every day. I'm the voice. The following program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption by. So, got some Hulu stuff to do every day. And the main job of a voice actor is to audition. It's like being a salesman. You got to make the sales calls to make sales, or a batter. You got to have at-bats to get hits. So I spend a lot of my day auditioning for various commercials and cartoons and games and TV promos and narrations for like National Geographic and that kind of thing. So my work is really auditioning, and when they actually book you for the job, that's really my pleasure. That's my play. When you can just go in the studio, work with other guys, or work with producers or whatnot. So I'm in the booth. That's my whisper room right behind me there. I'm sitting in my office. I've got some of my memorabilia on the bookshelf over there. So I do it every day. And
before the Clone Wars, you did voices of Lando and Dunari and X-Wing Alliance, and in episode 1 Podracer, you were some character I don't even recognize, but
oh
there's
my
Miles.
God!
Also, you're known really well for doing the 5 seconds bits of the Hulu guy. So, how was your experience doing those, like the more minor characters?
Well, you know what? Just like with everything else, so if you're an actor, you usually end up playing a lot of minor characters before they trust you with bigger characters. And actually, it's kind of fortunate. I got to play like Lando Calrissian early on in my career. I got to play on the Podracer game. I played 3 Pod Racers. They weren't named characters, but they were pretty big roles in those games. I'm on the Dota game. I'm 5 characters in Dota. Worlds of Warcraft, Worlds of Starcraft. So I just love what I do. I'm couldn't be happier.
Do you remember any of the lines from the episode 1 Podracer game? Because I remember playing that game so much and just hearing them scream when I'd hit the walls. So do you remember?
Batu Scorchy! You remember that, don't you?
Yeah, whenever I always crash into the rocks and stuff, and like they go ah and things like that, and sometimes they'd laugh. I don't know why they'd laugh.
I lost my voice for a week after doing that game because the whole thing is shouted. You're in a pod racer game, and so as the character, everything you say is screamed, and the whole thing is in Huttese, which was just wild. So I've got my script here on one side, it's all in Huttese. On the other side, it's what I'm saying in English. And the director actually spoke Huttese. Now, I don't know how he knew Huttese. I don't know if he, Rosetta Stone or Pimsleur. I don't know if they have that for Huttese, but he would tell me how to pronounce it, and then I'd do the line. And we did one pass for the first character. Then he says, "Oh yeah, let's do it again, but this time I want you to do it with a Jamaican accent." And then the next time I want you to do it with a homeboy accent. And at the end of the 5-hour session, my voice was hacked up, and the next day I could not talk.
That's terrible.
That sucks.
But yeah, that game really, it was just a bunch of screaming, and I don't know what. And they would always speak Anglian language, so we didn't know if they were cussing out the other pod racers or not. Like.
Oh yeah, they were.
So Miles, now that you're back, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, sorry, it totally just freaked out on me. Google Plus has some issues. But my next question is: are you currently working on anything, just for voice acting, for your job?
I am definitely working on something. Yesterday I did a job. Where is it? I stuck the book someplace else. I thought it was here, but it's not. Working on a project that is a graphic novel that has. Do you guys know what Anomaly is? The graphic novel Anomaly?
No.
Okay, it's a huge graphic novel, but it comes with an iPad app or an iPhone app or an Android app. And when you look at the book through the app, it comes to life.
Wow, that's actually sounds
the
really
pages
cool.
come to life, and it's very awesome. And they just did a new one. Hang on there for us. Wait, I know it's close by. Ah, there it is. Happen to have it. Shifter. And this is the new one, Shifter, from the same people. Brian Halberlin, who was a well-known artist. He did Spawn, the comic book Spawn. He's done a lot of comic books. And he was the artist for Anomaly. And you should check it out when we're done. You should look it up and check it out. And Shifter, this isn't even out yet. This is the book. But you open up the book, you look at it through your iPad, and you can hear the voices and see the action. And it's very,
that is
very
so
cool.
cool.
I've never heard of that, but it sounds like such an amazing thing.
Let the world know.
Wow.
So everybody, I mean, can you find those at like normal retail stores, or do you have to go to
Yeah, they should be available in any bookstore. This one's not out yet. This is a copy that he gave me yesterday, and just like I autographed some stuff for you, he autographed it for me.
Nice, that's awesome.
So, it's nice to have fans, and it's also nice to be a fan. But great artist, really cool stories, and don't be surprised if Anomaly, which came out last year that I play several parts on, is going to be made into a movie.
Wow, that'd be so cool. Oh yeah.
So I'm
Caleb, your
working on.
question?
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, got that going on. I play Vol'jin on Worlds of Warcraft, and that story is continuing on. Some XCon game should be coming out in a few months. Skyrim. The next version, I play some characters, so I got some things in the works.
Skyrim is such a huge game with so many characters.
Oh man, I think I'm going to be doing some more Dota characters. Right now I'm playing 6 of them, and I've been told we're going to add some lines to the Skeleton King and create another character. So we'll see.
Wow. Caleb, your question?
Okay, so whenever you were recording for these parts, did you ever did you change voices for them, or did they just kind of flow naturally for whenever you saw the character?
Well, different characters have different voices. Like playing Lee Everett, it's just my voice. Pong Krell is kind of my voice, but a different attitude, and just deepen it a little bit and make it a little bit more officious. For some other voices, sometimes you're doing something very different. Doing Lando Calrissian, really much more closer to my voice. The part I was playing yesterday in Shifter was a bit more like this. I was playing what people may think is a robot, but it's not. So yeah, you change your voice, but more than changing your voice, it's what is the attitude of the character? What is that character's worldview? What does that character want? What is he trying to accomplish? What's he afraid of? Those are the things that really color whatever voice you're using.
Okay, that is very interesting. I never thought that an attitude would completely change the voice almost into a completely different character. That's very
and now imagine yourself. I mean, you're talking to me very regular right now, but what if you were really, really, really mad at somebody, so mad you couldn't shout at them, that you just had to do it in a whisper? I guarantee your voice is going to change. It's going to be different. When I'm teaching, which I do from time to time, I'll be teaching a class up in San Francisco in November over a weekend. One of the things I try to get voice actors to understand that the worldview of the character is way more important than the voice. Anybody can come up with a crazy voice. I mean, that's not hard to do. But you have to have some life in that crazy voice. What happened to him that made him the way he is? Why does he feel this way? Why is he scared all the time? Or why is he pissed off all the time? Those are the things that really bring a character to life, his motivations, not just a funny voice.
Okay, my next question is, who is your favorite Jedi in Star Wars? And yes, you can say Pong Krell.
Well, actually, I can't say Pong Krell. I loved playing him, but he was a traitor, so...
Yeah.
F you, Pong Krell! No, I really enjoyed Pong Krell. Quiet as it's kept, I think my favorite Jedi was Yoda.
Oh, yeah, that's a great choice.
Yoda definitely
so
opened
awesome.
up a can in episode 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And a few times in the Clone Wars that he, especially in the very first episode of Clone Wars.
Yes.
Oh,
Amazing
yeah,
he was.
Awesome. Oh, yes, for sure.
Which brings me to my next question. What was your favorite episode of the Clone Wars?
Well, actually, the ones with Pong Krell.
Hey, I didn't even play Pong Krell, and I'm saying the same thing.
Same here.
So it's not just you.
Yeah. They really brought something different to the table in terms of Clone Wars. It was a lot darker than it usually was, and I really like that about it.
And also, it seemed like a huge war story. Oh, sorry.
It was, and it was a little bit of a departure from the usual fare for the Clone Wars. And you know what? I tell you something else. I have been very surprised by the popularity of Pong Krell. I was happy to play him, but I had no idea for a long time how popular he was. You kind of reminded me of that at Dragon Con when I didn't have any Pong Krell pictures.
Yeah,
remember
believe it or
seeing-
not.
That was very good of you to not only bring your own, but come back the next day with more for some of your friends, which shows what a good friend you are to your friends.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Pong Krell. I have a lot of friends that are huge Clone Wars fans and watch the Clone Wars and love Star Wars, and they're always talking about Pong Krell. Man, he is one amazing character. He's like the most deserved action figure, I think. He's so
For
cool.
sure. He really
Let me ask you, do you think they should have killed off Pong Krell?
I think they should have let him like escape. Maybe that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would have given so many more possible stories down the line.
Yeah, what I think is, I think it would be very cool to have some more episodes mainly just focused on Pong Krell and his individual story after all these events. But I did really like the way the clones finally stood up for themselves and did what they had to do. So both ways, I think, would have been great.
But they didn't let him finish his sentence. He was talking. He was right in the middle of talking, and bam!
Yeah, that wasn't very
What can you
polite.
say? Clones no respect for their
Doggone
generals.
clones.
Dogma needs to learn his manners.
Yeah, there you go.
Rex had his gun pointed at him. I don't think Rex would have shot him. I mean, I honestly don't think
Yeah.
Rex had. But like after all Dogma's been through and how much he stood up for Krell, I mean, he just got tired
Yeah.
of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty brave of him and pretty crazy of him to do. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Neither was I till I saw it in the script and said, "Oh, damn."
Shut you, like right in the middle of the sentence, like you know, it's like, is that it?
So, hey, Filoni, really? You really?
Caleb, is it your turn or my turn? I completely got
I can't
forgot.
remember. You go ahead. I asked
Okay.
a ton of questions at once while you were gone.
Oh, okay. My next question is, how often do you record? Just like a few times a month, a few times a week. Yeah.
Well, I record something every day. I've already done some auditions today, some Hulu stuff today. I've got some other things I'll be doing a little later on today. Tomorrow I'm actually going up to San Francisco and doing some press for Walking Dead game stuff. But when I get back tomorrow evening, I'll have more stuff to record. So I'm a voice actor who works every day.
Awesome. Very busy, which is also good because that means more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The oil of life.
Yep. You can't live without it.
Unfortunately.
I know, right?
So,
Caleb?
Pong Krell has two merchandising items. The first would be this trading card. Let's see if I can actually find a picture of it so I can show you it.
Oh, wow.
There was a trading card made for you. I think it was in another country. It wasn't released in the U.S.
It was an attacks one. I know they're really popular in Germany and stuff.
Yeah, so on this card, this is pretty funny. They call you Jedi Ritter on the card. He looks pretty
Jedi
angry.
Ritter?
That's a cool card, though.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
If I had that, I would have probably got you to sign
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Dragon
Oh,
thing.
yeah, I can blow that up. Oh, cool. Jedi Ritter. Come on, Pong Krell. Cool.
And then
That's
the
cool.
second being this minifigure of Pong Krell that came with the Z95 Headhunter.
Oh, okay.
And
Very
one of
cool.
the audience members commented and asked, Wolfpack CCMM asks, do you have the minifigure?
I do not. But if somebody wants to send it to me, I'll take it. You know what? I don't even know where to get one. Where would I get one?
Oh, they sell those
Target?
everywhere. Walmart, Target, Toys R Us. It's the Z95 Headhunter. I'll try and find you a picture of that as well right now, right?
Oh, man. Yeah. You get some other minifigures, of course, and you get, what's the vehicle you get?
The Z95 Headhunter is the ship that was appearing in the episode for a couple seconds.
The ship that appeared for a couple seconds.
Okay, let me know if you guys can see it.
Oh, I
you're-
can.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
You
And is that Pong Krell in the middle there?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Alongside.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to go get that.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's. Yeah, go ahead. Never. Yeah, I need that one too myself. That's awesome.
Excellent. Excellent.
That is like the best. Oh my god, that voice is so cool. It just gives you chills when you hear it.
Oh, Pong Krell?
Yeah.
Oh, the excellent. Yes, Pong Krell. I love playing Pong Krell, and I'm sorry that he's dead. But you know what? Maybe with the technology of the Jedis, maybe they could bring him back. Could be.
Yeah, I mean, Darth Maul survived.
It could happen.
Too.
It could happen.
I mean, if Darth Maul survived getting cut in half, thrown down an almost practically bottomless pit, I think that he can survive one bullet wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he held up the gun and just went. Pew, 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 pew. He only did one shot. That's it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dirty if it was just like too far away. My next question is: do you think Krell deserves an action figure?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
A while back, Hasbro actually promised it, so I don't know why we haven't got it.
Yeah, Hasbro actually promised us, and then they canceled the Clone Wars line, and we're like, what the heck?
Yeah. But if you have, and I could see right where it should go there, right behind you, right in the middle on that
Right
bottom
in the middle?
shelf. There's room right there.
Yeah, perfect spot for him. It'd be cool if they made him in 6-inch scale. That'd be really cool. Other
that'd
than
be very cool.
4-inch. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would so get that and hopefully get an autograph signed by you. That'd be awesome too.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No worries.
If Pong Krell were to live, I think the most epic battle would be Pong Krell versus General Grievous. They both got 4 arms. They
Oh
both
my
use
God.
lightsabers. So,
That'd be too cool.
That would be
Who do you
too
think
cool.
would win the battle if it were realistic? Because we know
Pong
that
Krell would win.
Of course.
He has the Force,
Yeah,
Caleb.
Krell has the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like the coolest battle though would be Anakin versus Pong Krell, because Anakin, he's like the most powerful. I mean, Grievous is a good fighter, and that would be a great matchup. But two really powerful, I guess, former Jedis against each other.
Yeah. You realize you guys are doing the same things that so many sports fans do. Yeah, what do you think? Muhammad Ali or so and so, or of taking fighters of different times, or well, who would win, or football teams of different times.
Yeah.
But Pong Krell would win. Pong Krell would win.
Yeah, I think Pong Krell would win.
Always.
General Grievous doesn't have the Force, and sadly, General Grievous is an amazing character, don't get me wrong, but he loses a lot of battles.
He does. He's not the best, but he's so cocky.
He's pretty cool, though. Like, I like when he, like,
Yeah.
crushes the droid's head.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Dig it. Dig it.
General Grievous is even rougher with his troops than Pong Krell was to the clones at one point.
And you can't get much rougher than that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, before he, like, started chopping them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, before that.
Yeah, before that he was rough. But Pong Krell was kind of rough in the beginning because he just, like, told him, okay, go stand out there and
Yeah.
get yourself shot.
Yeah. There you go.
Your question.
I asked a ton of questions earlier, so I'm running out. You want to go ahead and ask another one?
Sure. My next question is: what is your favorite part about Star Wars? What is your favorite thing in Star Wars?
My favorite theme?
Or favorite part? Your favorite thing?
Well, I like even though it's, supposedly in the future, or is it in the past, or whatever time it is, it's a timeless story. It's good against evil. It's people overcoming. They are the classic tales set in a whole different world, or whole different worlds, I should say. So I like everything about it. It's well written. The characters are well developed. The best entertainment is entertainment that takes you to a place you've never been before, introduces you to people that you would never meet, and gives you the experience of living a different life. And I think that's one of the reasons that Star Wars is so huge and has been so huge. It will be with us forever. Long after we're gone, Star Wars is still going to be popular with whatever generations come behind us. Much like we're still reading Shakespeare. We're still reading Aeschylus and the Greek tragedies and comedies. And so I think Star Wars will have that same kind of longevity, that long after our civilization has crumbled and a new civilization has taken its place, they'll still be looking at Star Wars.
I totally agree. I mean, it is just such a big franchise. it's really incredible.
It's actually, I mean, you've got all the toys, you've got the books, you've got the movies, you've got the cartoons, and so yes, huge franchise, but I think it's bigger than that.
It's the story.
Yeah, it is.
It's history. Star Wars.
It is literally a part of life for most Americans. It's just a part of your life.
Not just America.
All around the world.
Definitely in our DNA, but it really is all over the world.
It is.
Celebration Europe, when they had it in Germany, a lot of people showed up for that, and most of them are not Americans. They have conventions all around the world for Star Wars.
Yeah. And even at school, some of my teachers quote Star Wars, which is crazy.
May the Force be with you.
I think everyone knows that line. If they don't,
even if you've never seen a Star Wars movie, you know that line.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you don't know that line, man, you need to seriously watch one of those movies.
Luke, you are my son.
No, that's not true. It's impossible.
Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Help us. Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Classic.
Oh, yeah. Very classic.
Okay, so whenever you were assigned the part of Pong Krell, how much of the character model did you know? Did you know he was going to be a four-armed species, or did you just think you were voicing a Jedi General? Did they give you a drawing of him?
Well, no, I knew I was playing. I had pictures of Pong Krell. I knew what he looked like. I knew he was a basilisk. I knew he had four arms, all of that. So, and I actually knew his story arc that he was a Jedi gone bad. So. I had all the tools there to play him.
Awesome. Caleb, I'm down to my last two questions.
Okay, you go ahead and ask those two, and then I'm gonna ask one. Or you ask one, then I'll ask one, then you ask one.
Okay. So my next question is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh boy, well, see, you're late with that one. While you were in the bathroom, Return of the Jedi.
Oh, nice. That's definitely one of the better ones, and I know one of our watchers is definitely, like that. Caleb, so your next question?
Okay, my next question is, where is it at? Okay, this is a question I really want to know. Do you remember any lines of Pong Krell that didn't make it into the final production?
Oh gosh, I don't.
I don't remember any?
The experience of being the voice actor for a character and the experience of watching the character in the completed cartoon are very different. And, you do the job and you don't necessarily remember the lines at all. My experience of it has to be when I watch it later on, then I remember, oh yeah, I remember saying that. You don't remember while you're doing it.
Also, at the Clone Wars panel, they said the difference between voice actors and real actors is because you don't have to remember the lines. They're right there in front of you. You just read them out loud and say them.
Well, one, I don't like the way you phrase that question. Voice actors and real actors.
Oh, I meant
voice actors are real actors.
I meant live action actors.
No, I know. I'm giving you a hard time. Well, that is one of the differences, is that the pages are there in front of you, and you don't have a costume on, but it's not easy to take the words off the page when you're reading them. That has to be translated from the page through your eyes into your head and out your mouth. The actor in front of the camera that is not reading those words has practiced them, has memorized them. They've been told where to stand. They're in a costume that sells the character. When you're a voice actor, all you have is your voice. Of course, they did give me another set of arms and a strange face, so I guess there was some of that too. But they're slightly different skills, but they're so closely related.
Also, being a voice actor, you don't have time to practice at all.
No, you come in and do it now.
Yeah, and it sounds real live action acting is very hard to do, of course, but voice acting seems really hard too because it's really hard to read words off paper and make it not sound like you're reading it, to make it sound good and put depth into it. So it seems
What
really
I call it is taking the words off the page. And you're absolutely right. That is the biggest problem most people have when they pick up something to read. Suddenly they are reading like this, and they are not actually. So to read well enough that you're reading it and you're making it sound just like I'm just talking to you, or I am this character talking to this other character, is a real talent. Not to pat myself on the back.
Well, if
No,
you're
you
playing
shouldn't pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, you deserve a pat on the back. You did.
And
an
if I had
excellent
4
job as well.
arms, it would be so much easier.
You could pat yourself
I
on the
could have
back
all
4
the
times.
arms.
4 times at once. Okay, so my very last question is one that I really wanted to ask you because I was having a lot of trouble thinking of the answer to this question myself. So I was wondering how you thought of it being the actual character. Whose side do you feel Krell is really on?
He is on the side of evil, unfortunately. Krell started off a good guy and was seduced by the dark side.
Do you think he's strictly on Count Dooku's side, or is he on his own side, or is he just evil?
Well, I think every traitor ultimately is on his own side. He just thinks his own better interests are served by making the move he made. I think he decided that the rebels that they couldn't win, the clones couldn't win, and he was going to make a deal for himself, and failed.
Okay, Caleb, your final questions.
I actually want to add on to your question, how he switched sides. I don't think Dooku would have accepted him because we know he wasn't loyal to the Jedi in the first place, and Dooku would notice that he's not loyal at all.
I think Dooku was an opportunist. I think he would have used Krell as long as he could have used him, and when he was done. Yeah, I think as long as Krell was useful to him, he would have used Krell. Much like as long as these clones are useful to me, I will use them. I think Krell might have been betrayed or not, but the possibility of his being betrayed was definitely there.
Yeah, because even when Count Dooku accepted Asajj Ventress as his apprentice, even Lord Sidious, he was not cool with that and made him get rid of her. So I feel like something very similar like that would happen to Krell. But then again, Krell is extremely, extremely powerful, and he might overthrow Dooku and then be Sidious's new apprentice.
Well, we'll never know.
Sadly. Krell,
We'll never know.
Yeah.
But listen, guys. I got to bug off here, but I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me on, and I mean, you asked some great questions, some of which left me scratching my head. Gee, how do I answer that? But I really appreciate it. It was great to meet you at Comic-Con, and I look forward to the next time. And friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Dave Fennoy, like my Facebook page, Dave Fennoy voice actor, and we will talk again, I'm sure.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you
we'd
so
love to have
much.
you on again.
Yes,
All
we
right.
really
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.
You
May the
too.
Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Oh my God, that was awesome.